worries. Okay, so just to iterate on last time, so we have covered basically what is .NET and different versions of .NET and what is the latest version and when they have introduced .NET Core and then what is the .NET Core. Okay, so and then we have also spoken about IAS and a little bit of MVC we have covered. It's basically model view controller.
All right.
And I'm also talking about how you can download Visual Studio.
Yes.
Yeah, and also we have created one sample ASP.NET MVC core application. Okay, and we have covered these, what are all the default folders coming into and what is that significance of the folders. And also we have spoken about HTML, what is HTML and where it contains within that ASP.NET MVC.NET Core application. And CSS, how do you write inline CSS, internal and external? And the similar way, what is JavaScript and how you write inline, internal and external. Okay. Yeah, so the primary thing, within, the web framework using .NET Core is you can use ASP.NET MVC Core. Okay, so using that, you can build, modern web applications using Visual Studio 2022 or any other version. Okay, so MVC.NET Core is become very popular because it is very much performance improved and it has lot of control on different components, HD view part of it, and then controllers, and then model. So whoever having the knowledge, so different team can work on different components. Okay, so if you have knowledge on primarily on database side, you can work. And then if you have .NET, if you have experience on the C#.NET side, you can work on the controller side of it. If you have very much experience on the HTML, CSS, JavaScript side, then you can work on the Vue side basically. Here we are. Sorry, I will be coughing in between. Okay, so the another advantage, is that if you want to implement like routing and dependency injection and all, it is, again, you need third-party libraries, how you can write within the .NET framework. But these components are already added as part of the, ASP.NET Core, so that, the components are loosely coupled and then performance improvement will be done. Okay, so now let's talk about a few things on how you can add controller, how you can add models, how you can add views into our ASP.NET Core MVC application. Okay, so just before that, I'll just talk, there are a few points I just wanted to talk about what is controller and all. So controller is basically an initial point when you are running, ASP.NET MVC application. So whenever you are hitting any URL, so let's talk about it diagram. Say this is your, ASP.NET MVC application. Okay, so basically on the browser, you hit HTTP colon and then your domain name slash, this is called controller. Okay, and then slash your action methods. Okay, so this is about you call into your application. So here is the component of controller. So when you are hitting any URL, first it goes to controller in the background. Okay, then it goes to what action you have requested. Okay, so if you talk about controller, all the HTTP requests, first it will be received at the controller side. Okay, then it goes to the action method and then check what you are trying to access of any data. So say here, if you are trying to return get all employees, right? So this, when you hit this one, so it goes to the action method within the controller and see what are all the logic you have written connecting to database and get the data and load it into model and then return the model as part of the view, right? So when you call it as view, so that's basically all of your HTML tags will be there, right? That's view. Okay, like HTML and then div tags, any button controller, all that. And then it loads the model data. Okay, so that model data will be rendering into your view. Okay, I'll show you that it practically how it works. But as of now, I'm just trying to explain that you how it will works and all. Okay, so that's about the controller view and model at a high level. Okay, so when you want to create a controller, you can go to your application and then you can see by default, last time we have created this .NET MVC core application. So when we created that, by default, many folders have come. We have spoken about what are these folders related to. Okay, so we have a controller. By default, it comes home controller. Okay, so you can right click on controllers and then click add. And then there is a controller. So just click on that. Okay, so MVC controller empty, or if you want to add any read or write actions, you can do that. Or if you want to using any entity framework, you can use. Okay, now I'm going with the MVC controller empty option. So I just clicked on that. Okay, so MVC controller empty. So I'm going to give here, say, this is my first controller. Okay. Okay, so remember that here, whatever you have mentioned my first, that will be coming as part of your controller, whatever we are seeing here. Okay,
Let's name it,
but
let's name it client controller.
sorry, come again.
Let's name it client controller. So it
Client,
feels, yeah, so it sounds like real well.
I missed Alfred.
Let's name it client controller or customer controller. So it
Yes,
sounds
yes,
like real
correct.
well.
Yes, exactly. So you can name it of anything. So because I'm creating first one, so I'm just using, my first as my controller, but always you will have to suffix with controller word. Okay, then it understands in the background, yes, this is a controller. Okay, but before the controller word, whatever is there, that you can use as part of your HTTP request. Okay, so I'm just naming it as my first controller. Just one moment. I'm just double checking whether recording is in progress. Yeah, all good. Okay, so after 40 minutes, if it is disconnected, using the same link, we can rejoin back. Okay, so I have created my first controller and then there is a inheritance of it. So all the controller logic, how it is going to call action methods and all, everything will be inside of this controller that comes as part of MVC framework itself. So this controller is basically coming from the namespace called Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.MVC. So that's the framework of MVC. So that comes as part of your development SDK. So no need to bother about that one. So our controller is my first controllers now. Okay. Now this is called action method. So as I was telling you here, so I was telling you first controller and then slash, this is your action. Okay, so the action here calling from this name. Okay, say suppose in this controller and action, if I want to put my URL, then http:// and then localhost, and then what is my controller? My first slash index. Then the execution part of it will come here, and then it will return view. Okay, so you need to here understand one more thing is that, whatever action method is there, when you are trying to return view, it will look for the under the controller folder. If you are going to views, see here, there is a home. Okay, and then home is already a controller. Okay, under that, it will look for index like that. So now we have created my first as controller. So you will have to create under views another folder called my first.
My first view.
Yeah, my first is my controller name. And then under that, add a view. The view will be the same name as my action method name. Okay, then it will
Yeah.
easily understand. Okay, under this controller, this is the action method, and then there is a return view. Because there is empty, it will always look for the view name with the same action name. Okay, now our view name should be index. Okay, so view name, I'm going to give it as index. Okay, and then if you want to use the default layout page, let's use that one. So the existing one only will be used. Okay, now I'm not dealing with any model. We will come to this model later on, but as of now, empty. Okay, let's create what it will create. So it is trying to return a view for us. That's called index.
Uh-oh.
Web.code generation design. What is that? There was an error running the selected code generator. Empty. Sometimes it gives. Let's try again. Okay, or else we'll go for a different option instead of razor wave. Okay, I'm just using as a normal wave. Okay, wave. I'm going to give it as index.cshtml. See the extension here. So as part of the ASP.NET within the .NET framework, we usually getting as .aspx, .ascx, these kind of page extensions. But here for the view, it will be CS.html file. So what does that mean is, it is basically HTML page, but it is having C# code also
CS.
you can write. So when I say C# code, you can access server side code. So that's called Razor. It's called Razor. So it's called Razor view. So when I say Razor, you can access a server side script also in addition to your HTML. Because plain HTML, you can write only the HTML tags, but you can't access server components. In order to access server side logic, then you need to write a language. The language can be C#, VB.NET, F#, like that. So currently we are using C#. So type is C#. So that's why CS is coming. CS stands for C#. Okay. So index.cshtml, I'm just clicking on add. So under my first, which is my controller, and then index.cshtml. So that's what it has created. Okay, now in my first controller, I am returning view. Okay, so here, so just for, I'll write some of the HTML tags saying that, div my first view. Okay, now, so I'm putting a breakpoint here so that we can see how it runs. So I'm clicking on F5 now. Okay, so this is the what it has come. So when you are, excuse me, when you are running your application, by default, it was going to your home controller and then index page. So here you have home and privacy, all that. Okay. Now, in order to go to our controller, so because we have not added any of the hyperlinks here, so you'll have to manually go there. Okay, so I'm going to slash, what is my controller? My first as my controller. And under that, what we have created action method called index. So when you call this, controller slash action method, first it will go to controller. You see here, because I put breakpoint, it's coming to my controller. And then after that, it look for the action method, what you are calling. So that is index. Okay. Now, after that, it is returning view from here. Okay. So the view will be index view. Okay. Now, if you want to debug anything, you can debug when you have a bigger logic, or you can just press F5. You see here. So this is the what our view is loaded. If you want to see the view page source also, you can see. Okay. So this is the what our content has come here. Okay. Yeah. So this is our web page, and then this is your controller and action method, and this is your div content, whatever you have placed it to. Okay. Okay. So this is what your first thing you have done. Any doubts so far?
Yeah. Let me share my screen, or maybe
Sure.
I was doing
Yeah.
it, and hang on, let me share my screen here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you have to enable me to share.
Okay. Participants. Make host, I think. Yeah. Can you check now?
Not yet. Try again. All right. Yeah, we got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is that's why I said we should. So this is my screen. I set up all of this, and I'm trying to do this weather controller, right?
Yeah.
Sample project that they gave. Okay,
Yes.
my app is currently running. It is. Am I running? I thought I was running.
You're running. You're running. So
Where do
because
you see that?
go down, scroll down. You see here the breakpoint. Oh, it's not breakpoint, is it? I see the yellow color, so I thought it is a breakpoint.
Let me go to terminal.
Yeah, probably go to any opened browser if you have it.
Yes, I have it on Postman. So this is the
Yeah.
URL.
Yeah.
And when I run it the first time, it was telling me disable SSL, but now it's giving me not found. So request resource could not be found.
So that weather forecast is your controller, and then slash. Do you have slash? And then slash. Can you put the action method?
Oh, maybe slash at the end. No.
After slash, call your action method. What is your
Okay.
action method?
Okay, so do a get.
No, go to your code, Visual Studio.
Mhm. Here it is.
So in your Visual Studio, there is a get.
Okay, okay.
Get is your action method. Okay,
This
you
one?
have changed that to get weather forecast. Even if you want, you can call get weather forecast also.
Mm-hmm.
So weather forecast is your controller slash get weather forecast. You can use as action method. Okay, can you go and change it to get weather forecast? Use
Okay.
yeah. You can take that copy paste.
Oh, this thing is blocking me. So get weather forecast.
No. Controller should be there.
Okay. Slash get weather forecast.
Yeah, slash get weather forecast.
No.
Go to your headers
Okay.
at the below at the as the response. The below is the response. Go to headers.
Mm-hmm.
What it said, Kestrel is fine, content length is 0. Is this hitting your breakpoint? Can you put a breakpoint first?
Sure. Where do you want the breakpoint?
Breakpoint at your action method. You know, this flower bracket is there after get. Yeah,
I
or
have.
you can put at the return also.
Okay.
Yeah, at that return leftmost side and then hit there. Yeah, there, yes.
And where else? Yeah. No, no, no.
Yeah, can you go to scroll up? Scroll up.
No,
You
not
can
anymore.
put at controller also the flower bracket number line number 8.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So can you run now?
Do you run it on debug?
Yeah. So it is localhost 5001. So that is the one it is hitting, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Can
That's
you run now? Just from here, yeah, from the Visual Studio. Let's see what is the URL it is coming. Yeah, so there is some error.
um,
What is the error you have? Can you just close that? Yeah. An unhandled exception, socket exception, innermost exception, address already in use. Fail to bind to address. The address which you are accessing, it is
mhm.
unable to give that address for your application. So looks like the particular, HTTP colon, whatever, that port
Mhm.
number you are using looks like that is allocated to some other application.
Oh, maybe 5001.
Yeah,
Okay. Then maybe I should change it.
yeah, probably you need to change. So you are having a Windows laptop also, is it?
Yes, but now this one is on a Mac. I'm on a Mac now. I tried to troubleshoot it and do it on a Mac.
Yeah, yeah. But you can actually able to run the application also on Mac also. But it looks
Yeah,
like you
I'm
are facing
running.
some other issue now.
Yeah.
Go to your app settings, appsettings.json.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, nothing is there. Go to your dev, appsettings.dev. Okay, this is also good. Go to your properties. Yeah, launch settings. See here, you are using localhost HTTPS localhost 5001. Can you change that portal number to something else? Probably 5003. Yeah. Stop that and run it again.
Yeah, we
Launch.
have to.
Can you go to your launch settings again? Launch settings. Why that launch browser is false? Can you make it to true? Launch browser.
Okay. And I changed this one to
Now can you run? You change it launch browser, right? Launch browser
yes.
to true. Yeah,
And this is how it is.
make it 3. That's already commented, so you don't need to change anything. Even if you change
Oh, I
it,
forgot. Yeah, that
yeah, that's already
oh,
commented.
that's what I was trying to create my endpoint here.
No, don't do anything here. It's already
No, I
commented on it.
wasn't
Not
creating. I'm
work.
saying I was just typing it out so I
No,
would copy.
have you built your project?
Oh, let me build my project.
Yeah,
Sorry.
right click on the solution and build it. Solution Explorer. Sorry, I don't have Mac. I don't know how it works in Mac
I
also.
know Mac is
I always use Windows.
that's the reason why I'm going to Windows. Okay, I can build it here on terminal and then just go to
Okay.
.NET run. .NET run.
Yeah, it's building.
No, that's not a successful build.
That's not successful. Oh, because it's a
That's too
cross
short.
mark is coming. Yeah. It should work actually.
Mhm.
But probably you have something else issues on your Mac.
Yes.
Yeah. This time it is taking time.
Yeah. Let's continue with the lecture. Like I said,
Yeah.
I'm already working on my Windows computer.
Yeah, that
So
will be good.
I will switch everything over to that and I should be able to troubleshoot. We got 10 minutes left. That time went so
Yeah.
quick.
So even if it is disconnect also, we can rejoin. That's fine.
Yeah. All right,
Okay,
let's
so
continue.
yeah, can you just okay because build failed, so you can't test that on Postman also. Okay.
Mhm.
Now I'm sharing my screen.
Sure.
So first you resolve those issues, then we can come back.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say while the other participant is sharing. Can you make me admin?
Oh, sure. Let me stop sharing.
Yeah,
Um,
reclaim host. So I'm just sharing my screen now.
all right, good.
Okay, so this is what we have done with sample, div control, and which is what it is coming now. Now let's do some changes. If you want to return the data from the controller, okay, then how you can do it. Okay, now, so let's add one more action method. Click I action result. Now, so basically testing. um, Data to view. So something like that I have put it. Now, so in order to return the data to your view from your controller, there are many options. So we have view bag. Okay. So our view data or temporary data. Okay. So what is the difference between them? So now let's talk about that before making any change. Okay. Now let me go there. Okay. So now we have a controller. So your view is here and say our controller is here. Okay, now you want to return the data to your controller. Okay, so we have view bag as one option. So what is view bag? So view bag is a collection of values which is collecting at your controller side, and then using the same view bag, once it got a collection of all the values, then once you return the view here, then the view bag you can access, and then what are all under there you have declared the values, you can access them into your view. Okay, so that's a view bag. So view bag basically it's just a value you can load it into. So you don't need, it's not an object. Okay, it's like dynamically you can create values. So view bag you don't need any type conversion, so you can just access the value. Say I am here mentioning view bag dot, and then whatever name you put it into, up to you, and then equal to any of your values. Say if it is a string within double quote I mention, or if it is a date or anything, you can load it into your view bag. So remember that you are mentioning view bag dot any of your name. And then when it comes to your view side, basically how you can access is, you can access at view bag dot whatever name you have mentioned, you can access. Okay, now let's try with the view bag how it works. Okay, now I'm going to my solution. So here I'm mentioning view bag. You see here when you are typing here view bag class has come, and then dot, you can put any name here. So I'm just going to put so the same like hello world, what you have put it. I'm coming from the view bag dot message equal to, you can put, and then inside that I'm coming from controller. So anything in that matter, I'm just putting that way. And then you see here, it is not returning any of the view. So basically you need to mention here for your action method, what view you are going to load. Okay, now I'm going to call return. See here, I'm not planning to create any of new view. So let's use the make use of your same view, which you have already created. Okay. So in order to mention that, you can pass a parameter to the view with the view name so that it understands when you are returning from here, this is the view I need to load. Okay. Now how you handle this value at your view side. Okay. Let's go there. I'm going to write one more div, and then here at, see here view bag is coming, view bag dot, what is our name we have kept? We have kept message. So let's access message here. Okay, so that is how you access your whatever you have declared at controller, you can access that message here. Okay, now let's do F5. Looks like it is already running. Okay, yeah, it has gone. So when you make changes while running, you can also do this hot reload. Okay, and then your page will be refreshed. Okay, where is our... Yes, so this is our browser where it is loading. You see here my index. I'm going to use the same. So I'm going to use the same action method, and then so the same view. Okay, so you need to understand here one thing. So this is your controller and this is your action. So for our purpose, what we have done, we have created a separate action method. So if you call index, it will always come to index action. Okay. So that is the way the breakpoint is hitting at your index. So let's run that one and then put a breakpoint here and then change that to our new action method. What is new action method? Return data to view. Okay, let's change that. My first slash return data to view. You see here, it's hitting now the new action method. Okay. Now if you want breakpoint, you can put it. See, message is having like this. Okay, and then we are trying to load the same index view. Okay. See, at index side also, if you want breakpoint, you can always put it. Okay, also do that. You see here, I'm coming from controllers. That's what I have loaded from here. So this is coming from the view bag.
So view bag is a way to still get message from another controller or what?
No, view bag, it will work only within your controller. It is basically used to load the value at your controller and then access at your view. Okay, so that is the purpose of the view bag. Okay, if you want to, if you want to set it here and wanted to use in a different controller, you cannot access that. View bag is specific to your controller and the related views within that only. Okay, so you cannot use values transferring from one controller to another controller. You cannot use this one. Okay. So now that is the thing. Now let's a little bit increase how you can